Hello friends, this is Mihaela and welcome to my YouTube channel. I received quite a few requests over on my Instagram account to do a tutorial on this style of illustration, and I thought it would be a great fit for my first video. Make sure to tag me on Instagram at bloomanddot if you try this out yourself, and I post a lot of art and bullet journaling content there, so check out my profile if you're interested in seeing more. What I like to do with these types of illustrations is to leave kind of like a border around to frame the artwork better. And for this sketchbook, which is roughly an A5 size, I eyeballed about 2 centimeters or 0.7 inches, but this is something that you can adjust depending on what you're working with. Because we are working on a kitchen view, I'm marking out the top of the counter and some shelves to go above it. I used a ruler for this initial stage to help me map out the basic proportions and give me some straight guides. Now I'm starting to add details to the scene. I already sketched a lampshade, some empty frames, and now I'm adding some detailing to the kitchen cabinet. I didn't use any reference photos for this piece and went by feeling when it comes to the sizes of the objects, just making sure that the proportions felt right. But if you're just starting out with illustration and don't feel comfortable doing this, using a reference image can be a great help. What I would encourage you though is to avoid using Pinterest as your source, since a lot of the images there aren't credited properly. There are a lot of websites that offer amazing royalty and copyright-free imagery that you can use however you like, even for commercial purposes. Unsplash is one of my favorites, and as you can see, there is every kind of aesthetic and type of shot on there. My friend Sarah from SJ Florals actually also spoke about this in her latest video, and you can find it linked in the info box below. The more details you have, even if your piece is small, the more realistic and finished it will look. Once our sketch is done, we can move forward to inking. I like to use a thicker pen for the edges and objects that are in the foreground to make them kind of stand out and give the image more depth. And as you can see, I am freely tracing the ruler guides. Don't be afraid to make a wobbly line, because this is what gives character to your illustration. I then move on to a 0.3 Fineliner and start tracing the objects that are a bit further back. And finally adding the last details with a 0.1 pen. Now I'm trying to build some volume on this hanging plant. As you can see, I'm not being too precise and just quite sloppily doing some abstract leaf shapes. If things are looking a bit weird at this stage, don't worry, when we go over it with some color, it will all come together. Now we are ready for the final stage. I use a variety of brush pens for the coloring. I generally prefer a more basic and muted or pastel color palette, but you should definitely choose whatever makes you happy with your illustration. I go over each object once to give it the initial color, and then go over it a second time with the same pen to add shadows. You can kind of imagine the light coming from one direction on your image, and then you always kind of leave a slightly lighter spot on this side of every object. I try to put a bit of each color spread out throughout the composition so that everything is balanced and it ties in together nicely. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me what you think of this video in the comments below. If you don't want to miss any future uploads, you can click on the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. My favorite part of this whole process is probably adding the main shadows, because that really makes the space pop. I use some light gray tones for this, but browns or a beige color would work perfectly as well. Can you see how everything comes to life now? At the end, I'm just adding some more details wherever I feel like things are maybe looking a little bit flat. I either use my brush pens or a 005 Fineliner and just shade some things in or go over some things again. Some shots here are unfortunately missing because my phone ran out of storage and I didn't notice. So I'll make sure to have plenty of space next time that I'm going to film a video. The last step is adding a few highlights to our objects using a white gel pen or an acrylic marker, and the illustration is finally done. Leave a flower emoji in the comments below if you made it this far. Everything I mentioned and used, as well as my affiliate links, are listed in the info box below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day. See you next time.